Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a case study, an in-depth case study of Conor McGregor and how he used the law of attraction to succeed in life. If you want to know more, please stay tuned till the end of the episode. Also, I do appreciate you sharing, liking, commenting my videos. They do help my channel grow and it really appreciated. That being said, let's get into it. The beginning of the story. Conor McGregor grew up in Dublin, Ireland. His family was not poor, but they did not have much. His years in school were not the best years of his life. He always knew he wanted something more. As a kid, he would visualize stadiums that were full of people cheering for him. MMA was not popular at that time. There were no precedents of people succeeding in this field, especially not in Ireland. So when he told his father about his dream, he was met with resistance. He dropped out of high school and took up a trade. For some time, he became a plumber. He worked during the day and trained at night. After 18 grueling months, he quit his job and focused solely on training MMA, mixed martial art. He could not stand the thought of doing something that was not meant for him. He could not bear to do something that was not as fulfilling as fighting, something that was not his calling, his purpose in life. He was living with his girlfriend, Dee Devlin. They would barely make ends meet. Conor McGregor was making close to nothing from fighting. His wife, Dee, was working odd jobs every here and there to support their household. One day, his sister got the movie The Secret for him. She thought it might help him. At that time, Conor was pretty lost and purposeless. Now, a lot of people love The Secret, the book The Secret, the DVD The Secret, and a lot of people think that it's incomplete. I, for one, think that the movie in itself is actually kind of boring, and I watched it a couple of times, and it's hard to watch because it's not really... I haven't read the book, to be fair, but the DVD in itself, the videos on YouTube are kind of boring. However, I would say that for the people who say that the movie The Secret is incomplete, I would say like what is not incomplete? Obviously, there's much to say about the law of attraction, but it's a good base. And a lot of people, especially people like Conor McGregor, have used The Secret as a foundation and went on to read even more and learn more about the law of attraction. So anyway, I digress. After watching the DVD The Secret, Conor became an avid practitioner of the law of attraction. And his wife, Dee, believed wholeheartedly that her husband would make it as an MMA superstar. Times were hard for many years. At one point, Conor McGregor became a fighter in the Cage Warrior promotion, one of the most popular promotions in Europe. He rapidly rose through the ranks and won 2 belts in 2 different weight classes simultaneously. Other promotions were paying attention to this up-and-coming young fighter from Dublin, Ireland. The UFC had their eyes on him. Dana White, the CEO extraordinaire of the company, flew over to meet him. He was very impressed by Conor McGregor, not only for his prowesses in the ring, but for that X factor he also had, that elusive thing which is possessed by so many of those high achievers. After he signed with the UFC, he went on a tear, beating everybody on the featherweight roster. He defeated Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, and Chad Mendes, and other more. He was then scheduled to fight the champion of the division, Jose Aldo, who had remained undefeated for the past 10 years. He was also, at that time, widely regarded as the greatest featherweight of all time. Conor McGregor defeated him in 13 seconds in the first round with a knockout punch. He then became the UFC World Featherweight Champion. After that fight, he lost to Nate Diaz via submission. That was his first defeat in the UFC. They fought at welterweight, so he remained a featherweight champion. In the rematch with Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor won via decision and 3 months later, he fought Eddie Alvarez for the lightweight belt. Conor McGregor defeated Eddie Alvarez in a dominant victory via TKO punches in the second round. He became the first fighter in the UFC to ever hold 2 division belts simultaneously. Conor McGregor started calling himself the champ. If that was not enough, he trash-talked his way into fighting Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest pound-for-pound boxers of all time. That event was huge. Even though the odds were obviously against him, he still put up a great performance in defeat and impressed the world of boxing. It was reported that he made around $100 million from this event. Conor McGregor was now more than a superstar. He was now a multi-millionaire many times over. He started a bunch of different businesses. He started his own media company and his own clothing line. But the company that really put him on the map as a serious business mogul is Proper 12. Shortly after the Mayweather fight, Conor started his own Irish whiskey brand named Proper 12. Some reports say that his brand sold over $1 billion in sales in the first year alone. Some other reports say that the company made $70 million in US sales. Numbers can vary, and oftentimes numbers can be exaggerated for marketing purposes. That being said, his whiskey brand did really well right off the gates. Proper 12 is just another great success, adding to a list of other great successes. Conor McGregor has also had his fair share of controversy. He did things that no one in good conscience can defend. I'm not condoning his unwholesome acts and words. However, I'm not condemning him altogether either. It's better to be for something instead of always being against something. I recognize that some of his behaviors are reprehensible. However, I do have to give credit where credit is due. I studied how he used his mind to achieve great things, and it is nothing short of miraculous. Conor McGregor is a true powerhouse when it comes to the law of attraction. I think we can all learn something and be empowered by his positive exploits. Let us now study in more details the techniques, methods he used to attract and manifest the life he has envisioned and embodied. One of the methods Conor McGregor favored is visualization. He mentioned in one of his interviews how he would be sitting in his beat-up car and still be able, through the power of his imagination, to visualize himself as he were driving a Bentley. After winning his second belt and being the first fighter to ever hold 2 belts simultaneously in the UFC, he said to the audience that this was what he had dreamed into reality. Visualization is a powerful tool. What Conor McGregor was doing is more specifically known as visualizing, living in the end. What he did was to picture himself as if everything he ever wanted was already his, and he did it over and over and over again. That is why you can hear him say in a lot of his interviews that he was never surprised of his success. When asked what he thought about his newfound success, he would answer by saying that he was not surprised at all. He made his vision come to life. He saw it so many times in his mind and imagination, so when it came to pass, when facts of imagination had hardened into facts of reality, it was almost banal for a guy like him. Another thing that made Conor such a great manifestator is his ability to feel as if his desires had already been manifested. He mentioned in one of his interviews before he became a champion that he already felt the belt around his waist. He also said that he did not want anything because he felt like he had it all already. Now, that must sound contradictory to a lot of you. I assure you, it is not. Letting go of the desire is very important. David Hawkins created a scale of consciousness. He wrote in one of his books that desire calibrates at a lower level of consciousness. And a lot of times, desire, wantingness, is what is preventing us from getting what we actually want. Because desire is telling the universe you lack something. How many times in your life have you pushed, strived for something and have it not come to life? And how many times have you detached and let go and see that desire come to pass? Here is the solution to that predicament, which is twofold for better results. One needs to live in the end as Conor did. He mastered the feeling of his desire already been achieved. He did not yearn for them. He embodied the thoughts, the words, the actions, the feeling of somebody who had already gotten everything. That is what Neville Goddard calls persistent assumption. When you intend for something, you first need to let go of your desire, then start living as if you already have it. Abraham Hicks said in one of her talks that reality does not matter, and it does not mean anything when you're manifesting. What she really wanted to say is that your present circumstances are a result of your past thoughts and past beliefs. You need to do what Neville Goddard asked his students to do. Ignore your reality. Don't react to your reality when it does not match your imagined life. You forsake that unwanted reality and reaffirm your imagined reality constantly until it hardens into facts. That's what we call persistent assumption. One thing that might be kind of unsettling for some people is that Conor McGregor worked so hard at his craft. A lot of people want to believe that you can manifest without action. Of course you can manifest without action. But if we were to be a bit more cheeky and playful, we could say that intending for something is already an action. We could say that visualizations, affirmations, applied techniques, and methods are all actions. There's still some effort required. Let's take the example of Conor McGregor. Fighting is something physical. At the very least, you need to get into the ring to fight. That's an action. Manifesting without action means manifesting without the wrong actions and manifesting the actions that are aligned with our vision. That's very important. For Conor McGregor, that's training, starting the fight, sparring, conditioning, etc., etc., etc. Action that you would be doing if you were living in his end, because that's the lifestyle of a champion. You need not worry about actions or no action. Once your mind is set on your vision, everything will become more organic and, more importantly, natural. Those actions will serve to harden the vision into reality. Preparation meets opportunity, as McGregor would say it. Another tool Conor McGregor used is the power of words. Before he fought Jose Aldo, he detailed exactly how the fight will unfold. After the fight, a journalist told him that what he had predicted had unfolded exactly the way he had described it prior to the fight. The journalist asked him, how did he do it? Conor McGregor answered by saying that if you truly believe and have the courage to speak it out loud, it will happen. In the professional world of fighting, this is not necessarily uncommon. It happens quite regularly, not always as successfully and not necessarily as easily as it was first described, but it does happen. Words spoken with faith repeatedly over a certain period of time and filled with energy are imprinted on your subconscious mind. They become a belief and tend to come to reality. One of the most famous aspects of the spoken word as a tool for manifestation is affirmations or autosuggestions. One video on YouTube shows Conor McGregor getting out of the shower and doing affirmations in front of his bathroom mirror. Louise Hay, the great law of attraction author, was a great advocate of this method. She said that affirming words in front of a mirror is the best way to do affirmations. Conor McGregor said that what matters the most is how you see yourself. Through this discipline, focus on your self-talk and your new beliefs will be imprinted on your subconscious mind. Your world will be shaken and your world will shape itself around your new beliefs. In those moments, it is important to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Your ego is comfortable with your old beliefs. Your new beliefs will shake everything up and put you in a whirlwind. It is completely normal. Embrace it and see it as a normal thing on your path to your new higher self. Conor McGregor talks also about obsession, single-minded purpose. He said that fighting, succeeding, and reaching the top is all he thought about. Neville Goddard, in one of his lectures about persistent assumptions, said that in order to transform oneself, one needs to find a phrase that represents that ideal new self and repeat it over and over until it sinks in and affirms itself on the subconscious mind. He said that one needs to hold fast to their beliefs, convictions, and assumptions. Let go of the resistance, the doubts, and the negativity. Ignore the reality that does not fit the new imagined self and reaffirm that imagined self at all times. Conor McGregor always said that it's easy to visualize when all is good, but the real test is to visualize good things when everything in your reality points to the opposite direction. One component that also helped boost Conor McGregor's success is gratitude. He mentioned in one of his interviews how he would appreciate all the small things and appreciate his surroundings even when times were hard, even when times were super hard. He would still have this zest for life, this fun and joy for living. When you start on this process, new things will align with your imagined self. I mentioned how you should ignore what is not aligned with your ideal reality. But when things happen that are aligned with your desires, you need to acknowledge them and be thankful for them. And here comes the most important part. No matter how small they are, be greatly thankful and invigorated, for it means that you are well on your path. Faith should grow and more will come. If you want to manifest a lot of money and start finding pennies everywhere or receiving small sums of money, be happy, be grateful, because life happens for you and not to you, and more will come. When you are thankful for the small things and keep reaffirming your persistent assumptions, your desire will come to pass. Conor McGregor would also visualize what it would feel like to give back. First and foremost to his family. His family was not the worst off, but he felt how he would feel like to give back to his parents. His wife supported him at the beginning of his career. He visualized how he would feel to cover her with expensive gifts and give her the life of her dreams. It is important to know your why, your purpose. Faith and perseverance stem from a burning desire. A burning desire stems from a purpose, a why that is so strong and compelling it gets the machine starting and keeps it during the inevitable ups and downs of life. Another motivation had to propel him to the mountaintop was his desire to inspire and motivate others. He wanted to show the world that it is possible. He added value to this world by showing that greatness is achievable when you stick to your game plan. Woody Allen said that 80% of success is just showing up. Be disciplined. Do the small things that will, with time, amount to great successes. Tony Robbins said that the successes and failures don't just appear out of nowhere. They are the accumulation of many things over time. Also, when it comes to failure, there is nothing wrong with it. Conor McGregor took years of beating, training, reaffirming, struggling to get to where he is. Oftentimes, people think that once you start a practice of positive thinking, it's all smooth sailing from there. That is really not the case. Neville Goddard, in his teachings, talks about a bridge of incidents, a bridge of events, a series of events that will bring you to your desired outcomes. Those events are subject to your interpretation. You can see them as good or bad or neutral. What really matters is to understand that life happens for you, that all will lead to your desired outcome in due time. Keep on reaffirming your persistent assumptions regardless of reality, regardless of interpretation of good, bad, or neutral, regardless of moods and feelings. Always believe that it is coming and more will come from each and every situation. The unstoppable combination of positivity and relentless improvement. One last thing before we end this topic on Conor McGregor. Ignore the haters. Be fueled by them, but don't become one with them. Be for something, not always against something. Conor McGregor said that in one of his interviews that the sound of laughter, the sound of doubt motivates him. Be like him. Use the naysayers as fuel for inspiration, but do not hate in return. More importantly, do not envy, do not covet, do not become jealous of other people's success. Conor McGregor said that some people will see him and will draw inspiration. Those who don't will hate and stay where they are. That's a very important concept. In Buddhism, we call this mudita, also known as sympathetic joy. You can have compassion and empathy for people suffering. In the same way, you can share the joy in the success and the happiness of others as if it were your own. What you want for you, you should want for others. Joseph Murphy, in his book The Miracles of Your Mind, talks about envy as a cause to the lack in one's life. By entertaining negative thoughts, no matter what they are, about someone who has what you want, you will keep yourself in lack of what you want. Joseph Murphy also said that the idea of competition limits your supply. Become a producer and a cooperator and realize that you can have all the riches you want without taking anything from anyone else. As there is no shortage of air, there is no shortage of the infinite riches of the universe. Here is a prayer to overcome envy and resentment from Joseph Murphy's book, The Infinite Power to Be Rich. I know that all men are my brothers. All of us have a common Father. I wish for everyone health, happiness, abundance, and all of the blessings and riches of life. I mean this. I'm sincere. I know that what I wish for the other, I also wish for myself. And as I bless the other, I am blessing myself. The love of God flows through me to all mankind. I bless all who are richer than I, and so bless those who criticize and speak ill of me. I rejoice to see all of my co-workers succeed and prosper. I open the windows of my mind and I let the riches of heaven. I am loving toward all. I pray that God's riches flow the mind and heart of all. I give thanks for his riches now. It is wonderful. One of the best ways to get what you want is to wish for others. That's a quote from Wayne Dyer. And that's where I will end this video on Conor McGregor. I hope you loved it. I hope you enjoyed. Please share it if you like it. Please comment if you like it. Please comment even if you don't like it. And if you want to know more of it, check the link in the description box below. I just came out with a book about the law of attraction and how celebrities applied to succeed. That being said, I'll leave you at it and have a great time listening to this video and all my other videos. Thank you so much.